Hi
There we
everyone,
go.
thank you so much for tuning in. We are here today with Giacomo Stevens, who I actually have known for quite a long time now. I don't even know how many years, but we met when I was at uni in Southampton. And now Jack is a business owner, so I thought he'd be great to get onto this YouTube series, which is called Through an Entrepreneurial Eye. So Jack, take it away, introduce yourselves, let us know what you do, your background, everything.
Okay. Afternoon. So yeah, I'm Jack. So introduce myself. Well, business-wise, at the moment, currently running a mortgage company. So background-wise, obviously, when I met you, Nat, I was running a nightclub, as is the dream of any 20-year-old gentleman.
Absolutely.
And really, one of the guys that actually worked there, as you know, Chris, he set up the mortgage company.
Mm-hmm.
I probably joined him almost 5 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a few of us. There's 5 or 6 of us. And over the years, we've grown to sort of 20 plus staff. So he's actually left. He's gone to Dubai.
Yeah.
To run a company. So I'm left here, myself and his fiance, and we run the mortgage company here. And as I was just saying to you, Nat, before we logged in, business is booming. It's the busiest we've ever been. So
Amazing.
So for us, it's good. And I was always destined to do mortgages. I was doing mortgages when I was 15. Took a break for a while, went travelling, and here we are.
Here you are. How did you get into it when you were 15? How did that happen?
So my mum was a mortgage advisor for another company.
Yeah.
And they would just pay me every day. They'd give me forms to fill out. Every application I did online, they'd give me £1. I'd come home from work, sit online, fill in forms, and make £20 a night.
Oh my God.
I know, yeah. At 15, obviously, that was loads of money.
Loving life. So you've had that,
yeah.
you've had the business mindset for a while then.
Oh yeah. Chasing that money. So that was. And then it just, I left college. I didn't like college. I wasn't very academic at all. I don't like being told what to do. So me and my mum set up a mortgage company when I was 17. So I did mortgages then for a while. The market crashed. And then I decided that life was to be enjoyed and got suckered into the party lifestyle.
Yeah, didn't we all? We've actually had, obviously I don't do anything to do with mortgages, but we've had similar backgrounds in terms of the nightlife world for sure. That's not sustainable, I don't think.
It's not, but you have some of your best times, don't you?
Yeah. Best times of my life, no regrets.
No, that's it. And I think it's, as much as, people don't see it as a real job, I think you learn good aspects with regards to socializing, networking, being very open and sort of out of your comfort zone. So, because in those sort of jobs, you're forced to speak to people that you may not normally or you don't like, and it's good for you. It's good for you.
Absolutely. Well, not most, but when I first started my own business, the majority of people I worked with were from the people that I met during my nightclub days. So, yeah, totally agree with that. Was being a business owner something that you've always wanted to do? From your 15-year-old story, I'm assuming it probably was, but maybe not.
I don't think I ever thought about it. I never really had any long-term plans. In my head, I was always like, okay, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to have a Ferrari, as you do when you're younger. So I never had this vision that I was going to own a business or what business it was. But I just fell into, I had always done mortgages. I sort of fell into this opportunity to start the mortgage hut, and really I just gave it my all, made myself invaluable. And then I was given the responsibility, and then obviously I was given shares of the business, and asked to run the business. And then from that side of things, I've always been interested in property. On the side of the mortgage hut, I've got a property development company. Mm-hmm. And that's, I don't dislike mortgages, but I can't say anyone would like mortgages. There's nothing enjoyable about the day-to-day activity.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy developing property. I do enjoy houses and that side of things. So on the side, probably 4 years ago, I set up a property development company. Mm-hmm. And again, I didn't go out and say, okay, I want to own a property development company. it just sort of, okay, well, I wanted to buy a house and do it up and sell it. Okay, so I did one, and then I wanted to do another, and then eventually you're doing what you love, but you have to turn it into a professional outfit to then make money and grow.
Yeah.
So before you know it, you've become a business owner. So yeah, so for me, it wasn't. I didn't plan it. I sort of fell into it, but it was always the next gradual step.
So would you say your passion is the property stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mortgage side of things is what I know, and it allows me to earn the income that I get.
Yeah.
And it gives me the freedom to then do what I want to do on the side. So and because of the property development company, I've now had that for 4 years. I've been working with a builder for 2 years, who's my friend, and he's very ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not got much business sense, whereas I've got no building sense whatsoever. And I've probably got some business sense.
Yeah.
We've joined up and we've now set up a building construction company.
Amazing.
So that's the latest, and that's come from lockdown because of idle thumbs, and we're always looking for things to do. So
Amazing.
And we were just having conversation after conversation. So we've decided to set that up.
Incredible. So you've literally are you in the process of doing that now, setting it up?
So the company set up, and we've got our first job starting in a couple of weeks.
Incredible.
Potentially a couple more. So it's a good start. It's a good start.
Congrats. That's very exciting.
Thank you.
I love that. I've had so many conversations with people like during lockdown, and like it's 50-50. Some people are like, this is the worst time of my life. And then the other 50% are like, right, what opportunities can I get? Let's do it. And that's like the prime example.
Yeah, it's been where we've still been busy at work, because as much as people aren't moving, people still have to remortgage. I've very much been in my routine of doing the same thing every day. Like, I'm a routine person. I have my routine. I'm set.
Yeah.
The advantage of lockdown is I can't go on holiday every month, or I can't go away every weekend.
Yeah.
So
I see your throwbacks on Instagram of like different countries. I'm like, he's missing it.
Honestly, it's I've not been away this year. I don't think I've been away this year. So it's but I have saved a lot of money. I've had a lot of time to look into other things. So for me, it's been a godsend. And I've managed to hit the gym every day and not drink my body weight every weekend.
Yeah, 100%. That's it. Again, people are going one way or another. So looks like you're doing quite well out of lockdown by the sounds of things.
Yeah, it's been okay.
Good, love it. So what has been so far, what would you say your favorite thing is about being an entrepreneur? Because obviously there's ups and there's downs, but what would you say the best thing is?
I wouldn't even call myself an entrepreneur.
You definitely are. You've been an entrepreneur since you were 15.
For me, it's the freedom. As much as I work at the mortgage hut, I have the freedom to turn around and say, I'm not in next week, or this week I'm going to the beach with my mum and dad, or last year I went away once a month, because for me, that's what I want to do. And I very struggle with constraints, so if I had to go to work and someone said, you have to do this 9 to 5, I'd be looking at that clock waiting for 5 p.m. to come. So for me, it's the freedom. It's the control. I like to do what I want when I want. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, totally. It's like I think being an entrepreneur, you have to have a certain type of personality, and you have to understand that it is like you said, it's a lifestyle, it's your life. And even though you have got the freedom and you can have the choice and you do whatever, it's still massively a part of your life every single day, whether you're on holiday or whether you're here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's a saying somewhere that says, being an entrepreneur is choosing to work 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
Rather than being told to work 40 hours a week. That's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I'm all about that. I couldn't agree more. Okay, so is there anything pivotal that has happened in your career so far that stands out to you?
No. I didn't have that. I didn't have that light bulb moment. I didn't have that thing where I was like, I need to go and do this. Mm-hmm. Everything's been very like next step calculated. I mean, the turning point for me was the major turning point was when I joined the mortgage hut, and we were just so busy, and it was okay, here's as many leads as you can handle.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, okay, well, I don't need to and that time I was living in a shared house with lads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'd previously worked 9 till 5, come home, play FIFA, get chicken, and that's it. and I joined the mortgage hut, and we were just inundated with leads. So then I was like, okay, well, and when I joined, you know, Chris was like, no, you can still live your life and go to the gym and take your dog out. So I was like, okay, that's fine, it suits me. But then I'd sit there, and at 5 o'clock, I'd be like, well, I've got another 10 leads to do. Well, I might as well stay till 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9. So then for me, it was, okay, well, I can work as much as I want to work, and there was no limit to what I could earn.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, okay, well, do I want to go home and play FIFA, as great as it is, or do I want to stay and earn? And at that point, my whole life choices switched. And probably for a good 3 years, I worked, not all day, every day, but I was working 50, 60, 70-hour weeks. Because for me, there was no point in doing anything else. Like, I'd still go out and see my friends, but I wouldn't waste any time. If on a Sunday there's nothing to do, I would go to work.
Yeah.
So it was that taste of, as hard you get rewarded as much as you work.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, okay, well, this is me. I'm going all in.
Yeah. Totally. That's it. When you start to see the rewards, I guess that's with anything, isn't it? When you start to see the rewards for the work that you're doing, you're like, right, well, if I can do more of that, why am I not going to do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is that entrepreneurial mindset, isn't it? Because I think you've either got that mindset, or you've got your 9 to 5 mindset, where you go to work at 9, you leave at 5, and you never think about work again until 9 a.m. Like, some people just like doing that.
Yeah, they do. And I sometimes I envy that, because I'd imagine that you just finish work and it's life.
Yeah.
You know, a dream. You're content. You get home. Yeah. But I'd struggle to do that. I really do.
Yeah, me too, for sure. What would you say has been your biggest challenge so far?
So I've not really had, you know, when you told me you were going to ask these questions, I had to think, and there's not really been a moment where I've been like, wow, this is really hard, or the business is going to go bust, or, you know, every business you have, it's up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
And it's just about riding those times when it's not as good as it can be. I'm very fortunate, touch wood, that, you know, we haven't had a recession, or, you know, the business hasn't gone bust, or the leads have dried up. The biggest challenge for me is time management. You know, it's the mortgage hut brings me my income, and then it's trying to develop my other businesses, but I had to take time away from the mortgage hut to do that, but then my income drops. So it's the fine balance of trying to juggle everything at once. But there's been no really down point yet, touch wood. So
how are you managing your time? Like, what's like your day to day? Dare I ask?
Not overly well. I mean, it's at 5:30, get up at 5:30, go to the gym. I'm at work by 8. I'll work till 6, 7, 8, depending at the mortgage hut. Now in the evening, so the property development doesn't take too much time with regards to day to day, because it's, you know, I found the house, the builders are managing the refurb. I don't have to do too much. It's only like today I had to go to the house because the ensuite doesn't fit. So then I have to worry about challenges like that. So I'll go and do things. Lately, what I've been doing in the evenings is obviously setting up a construction business, and just doing the admin for that, and meeting with a media marketing company to sort out branding and everything. But typically I'll try and do an hour's reading as well, before bed, whether that just be anything on self-development, or really any news articles that are relevant, or I'll listen to a podcast. Probably. But I mean, I have, and I told myself I'd do it this week, so I just read a book called I think it's, my memory is so awful. I think it's called Big Ideas for Small Business. And what they do is they tell you to set a timer for your phone for every 15 minutes for 2 weeks, and write down what you're doing at every 15 minutes. Then set my diary so I have an exact routine each day, every day. Because at the minute, although I try and pencil in time for other businesses, it's You know, if I work till 5, but then I've got 15 emails to the mortgage hut, I'll stay till 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Because I like to get things done. So,
Yeah.
but I feel I'm trying to get into the habit of blocking out each time.
Yeah.
Because as with the property development, it's not so bad because it's all long term. And when the house is up for market, then I'll look for another house.
Yeah.
With the construction company, now it will be setting up the website, the lead generation, the marketing. So then I'll have to put a few more hours into that.
Yeah. God, you got lots going on.
I like to stay busy. I struggle to sit and do nothing, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I'm exactly the same. I
Oh.
totally understand. Like, some people are like, how do you do all that? Do you not like go crazy? I'm like, no, if I was sitting there doing nothing, I'd go crazy. Like, I have to be just busy. But time management is so important. Like, I've got literally like my massive whiteboard here next to me. I have like a whiteboard with like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even the weekend. And then I have the time from 5 a.m. till 11 p.m. And I block out all the time.
Oh, so you've done it.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to show you because it's very big. I'll send it to you. I'll send you a picture afterwards. But you block out all the times that you can't do anything else, the emergency stuff, things that are urgent. I've got a great.
Yeah. So this is what it says, but it's, and I know that, and even reading this book, it says the more rigid you are, the more freedom you'll have, because you're not sort of fluttering between tasks.
Yeah.
But I just that's one of my challenges. I struggle with that.
Yeah, but you'll get used to it. You just have to make it a habit to do that.
Yeah.
And like, I used to multitask all the time. I was like the multitasking queen, and it was the least effective thing that I could have ever done. Whereas now
you feel like you're being productive, don't you?
Yeah, but you're not, and then you don't finish anything, and then things don't get done, and then you're like, oh shit, I was meant to do that 5 days ago, haven't done it. So I'm like, right, 6 till 7, do that. 7 till 8, do that. Get everything done by this time, and then just chill, basically.
There's no time to chill.
Oh, there's a bit of time. You've got to have fun. You've got to have fun.
No, you do.
This is something which is massively important. Okay, what is my next question? Have you made any mistakes in terms of your business path so far? And if you could look back on them and change them, is there anything you would have done differently?
Biggest mistakes?
You may not have made any mistakes if you've made some.
No, I wouldn't say mistakes. Decision-wise, maybe not business-wise, probably personal finance-wise. Mm-hmm. I look back and think, what have I spent all my money on?
Yeah.
Like, but maybe not so much now, because I know I've spent it on things that I enjoy. But then when I look back at before having a business sense, I look back and think, what have I done with my money? And really, it wasn't. I should have done it sooner. Mm-hmm. However, I wouldn't say there's any major mistakes yet. Touch wood.
Good. Love that. Everyone needs to follow in your footsteps. I've definitely made a few mistakes, but I think financially it's always the one, isn't it? Like, where has all that money gone? What did I spend that on?
Yeah, that's I mean, but like you said, you've had a good time, and I'm very happy where I am at the moment with my life and my work, and so I don't have any regrets.
Yeah.
I just occasionally think, what if I'd done this when I was 22, 23?
Yeah.
But you never know where you'd be.
Yeah, exactly. And everything happens at the right time when it's meant to happen. And everything happens, even if it is a mistake, it's always a lesson. Like, you can always find the reason why that happened, like later on down the line.
Yeah.
Have you got any advice if anybody's watching this who is either thinking about starting their own business, either in property or in the mortgage industry, or just nothing relevant to what you're doing, but just wants to start their own business? Have you got any advice? What would you say to them?
Do it, but definitely do it. I mean, life's too short not to try things. That's for sure. We are in the information age where we have access to all the information ever known to man on the internet, and women. Sorry, but also do your research. A lot of people may have a hobby that they feel they can turn into a business, which is great because it should be your passion. But you want to not necessarily be an expert, but you want to, we've done enough research to know that someone could come to you and ask for advice.
Mm.
Like, so someone could come to me and ask me about property, and I'm very confident that I could help them.
Yeah.
But if somebody came to me and asked me about, I don't know, setting up a restaurant, I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
So I feel that you need to be knowledgeable in your area. And then also what I would say is do it on the side of your current business until the point of where it's starting to take over your day job.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you did something similar with yours, with Arbon, and where it's starting to take over your income, then you can slowly move away. What you don't want to do is go all in, put yourself under so much pressure that you start to hate the job. You want to keep that passion. You want to do something you enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's very cliche, but I know they say you don't work a day in your life if you enjoy it. It's not you don't work a day in life, but you enjoy going to work. It's what you want to do. You don't think, oh, I can't wait to retire. Yeah. Because your idea of retirement is probably just doing the same thing but less hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. I think that's great advice. And I think as well, like, I think a lot of people who are maybe in like a 9-to-5 job and maybe they do want to start their own business, a conversation they probably have with themselves every day is like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. But you're never going to be ready. You have to just take that first step. And like you said, do it alongside what you're currently doing until you feel like you don't need to do that other thing anymore.
Yeah. And they might do it and actually think, actually, I don't like this. I don't like it. I dislike it. Yeah. And on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, we get so obsessed with this quick gratification and get rich quick. And property is a prime example of people sell the dream of, you can get rich in 6 months. I've probably doing property development for 4 years, and it's a property every year to 9 months. It's not a quick thing.
Yeah.
But the aim is, I don't need to be a millionaire next week. The aim is to be comfortable when I'm older.
Yeah.
So it is just a slow game.
Yeah.
And that way you're not chasing the gratification. You're not chasing something that's unattainable. If you set yourself little targets and you hit them each year, brilliant. In 10 years, who knows where you'll be? And I think that's the best way to look at things.
Yeah, definitely. You have to have patience for sure. Nothing comes overnight. And I think that's a massive thing. I think especially now with like social media and stuff, when you look at like a lot of these young entrepreneurs and people who are really successful, and people think, oh, they've just got that overnight. They've just got that overnight. Yeah. But actually, if you like really do your research, all of them have been through hell and back probably before they even saw any kind of like goodness in their business.
Yeah, definitely.
But people don't talk about it. People don't talk about that. So I think that puts people off. If they start something and they don't see the results instantly, they're like, oh, no, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. But if you just give it that bit more time,
completely. And I think we're guilty of not enough people show the hard work. On Instagram, it's look at me, I'm successful. I've done this, blah, blah, blah. They haven't shown we've got no money in the bank this week. We can't pay the bills this week. The bailiffs are coming this week. It makes it unattainable, whereas really it should be relatable.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think if more people were honest, then it would make it easier for everyone else to know that, okay, well, this month I haven't made money, but I might make money next month.
Yeah.
And also we shouldn't compare ourselves to everyone else.
Yeah.
Everyone's business journey is different. That's a very
wide statement there, Jack. I agree.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. And with social media, people do. They compare themselves every single day.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't. Yeah, don't compare your real life to someone's highlight reel.
Correct.
And that's what Instagram is. We don't want to be doing that. So what are your top 3 books that you would recommend?
Oh,
I know you love a good book.
I do love a good book. You may have read this one. You must have read this one. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh my God. My favorite.
So everyone says that. It's such a cliche, but I think I read it when I was quite young. I think I read it when I was about 20. And it's one of those books I read and I was just like, no, I don't really understand it. It's got words in that I don't understand, and disregarded it. And I think I've probably read it 4 or 5 times since.
Yeah.
And it's the good thing about it is very basic.
Yeah.
For people to read it and do a bit of research and understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's my go-to. Actually, I reread that this year, just for some basic principles. My second book I read when I was in Australia, so it's The Alchemist.
Yeah.
Have you read that?
I've not read that, but I know it. I've not read it.
Yeah, so that's very good.
Yeah.
That's very deep.
Okay.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
My third favourite book, it's Paul... Can you see me? Sorry.
No, don't worry.
Someone's rang me. It's I can't remember now.
Don't worry. You can tell
I
me
know
off.
someone, but I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So that's very good. That's a very philosophical book.
Mhm.
And then the third one is, I don't have a favourite. I like reading books about property development because obviously that's what I want to do. But also I love a good biography.
Mhm.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's biography is very good.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is very good that I read lately. And Robert Iger, the guy who's vice president of Disney.
Yeah.
So they're the three I've read decent. They're
Oh, I
very,
feel like
very
I'd
good.
like that one. I need to
It's
read
good. So
that.
I like listening to different people's. It's mainly on Audible, so I listen to different people's stories, and you just pick up little nuggets, and also it just makes them more. It makes things more relatable.
Yeah.
To see what they've come through,
Yeah.
and it makes things seem achievable. So sometimes you listen to them and you're like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I'll run Disney. It's fun.
Yeah. I can create Disney.
Yeah.
It's so true though. It's like what we were just saying about, don't compare yourself to people who you don't know really what they've been through. And when you read stuff like that, you learn everything.
Yeah. So what's your three? What's your go-to?
Oh, I'm not prepared. I would say Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I'm not going to say that because you said it. Have you read Think and Grow Rich?
No, I have downloaded it to Audible, but I haven't.
Okay. Think and Grow Rich has changed my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you need to read that immediately. Think and Grow Rich is definitely up there. The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein, which is a little bit more if you're a bit more kind of spiritual.
Oh, you love The Secret, don't you?
I love The Secret. And what else? This book I'm going to say now, this is something that I would recommend to somebody who is just kind of starting out. So someone who's maybe a bit more new to business, or maybe struggles to kind of make decisions and just needs a head start, basically. 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Have you read that?
I've got that. Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
That
very good.
I read that that was one of the first personal development books that I read 3 years ago or something like that, and it literally, I was like, oh my god, it's so simple, but
it works, doesn't it?
Do
that's what I used to get out of bed when I sat in my car ready to go to the gym.
Yeah,
it is very good.
It's so good. That's definitely but I've got if I opened up my Audible now, I listen every day. I do my reading, I do my audios every day, and I just am right, more information.
Podcasts?
Do you know what? I'm not a big podcast person.
Are you not?
No, but it's something which I do want to get into, because everyone's always like, have you listened to this podcast? And I'm like, no. Do you have any that you can recommend that I can get started with?
Yeah, so The Diary of a CEO.
Okay.
So there's a guy called Stephen on Instagram.
Yeah.
He owns a company, I can't remember what they're called, social media company. So he's from Manchester. He's only about 25 now, and they've just gone on the stock exchange. So his is very, very good.
Okay.
Listen to that. And then the other ones are property ones I listen to, obviously.
Okay. I won't listen to that one. I'll listen to the Diary. You can give me some more. I'm sure you've got more podcasts that you can recommend.
Well, I love a true crime one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Love a bit of crime.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other business ones. There's not very many self-development ones, really.
No.
Podcast-wise. Joe Rogan occasionally with Elon Musk. They're mind-blowing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a strange character, but he's very, very intelligent.
Oh, I'll have to do some listening. Fab. Okay, is there a quote? Do you have a favourite quote? Something that either you live by, or just something that you like?
I do. It is happiness can be found, even in the darkest of times, if one only remembers to turn on the light.
Oh, love that. That's quite deep.
That's from Harry Potter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I got it tattooed. I got it tattooed on my arm.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That is a very good quote. I love that.
So that's
so true.
Yeah, I feel like we rely on, as we said earlier, too many external factors for happiness. Mm-hmm. When we should look within, and also a lot of it comes from gratitude. I don't know I think you've got a gratitude diary, haven't you?
Every day.
Yeah. And that helps massively. I think it does. It makes you appreciate where you are, you know, what we have to be happy for. I try and do it every day. Again, it's sporadic at the moment. But I think it does make, you know, I'm a very grateful person anyway. I think it makes a massive difference to your outlook on life.
Oh, absolutely. And it changes the results you get in life, like instantly. But you have to be open to it. And I think a lot of people don't, if you're new to like personal development and like all that side of things, it can be a little bit, people are a bit like, oh, that's a bit weird. Like, why are you sitting there writing down what you're grateful for? But you're like, well, if you did it, you would know. You would see.
Yeah, you know, it does. It's a good way to start the day because it makes you, you know, you've woken up. Not many people have the privilege of waking up that day. So it does immediately change your mindset to take on the day. So
yeah, all for the gratitude. Love it. Okay, before we go, is there anything else any other comments that you've got? Anything else you want to say?
Do you know what, we covered it, but and I speak about it a lot with some of my friends, and it's we need to be careful what we consume as people, what's around us. You know, social media is very good now for many things. There's also very, very many bad sides to it. As you said, it shows us unattainable things. But the advantage is you can unfollow people without them knowing. So anything that I feel doesn't add value, or I see hateful comments, or just stuff that I know that if I'm looking at this, is it constructive with my time?
Yeah.
Do I need to know that Gloria down the road's kid had her second child? No offense, I'm sure she's lovely, but I just click unfollow.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to one of the boys yesterday, and I said the majority of my, not the majority of my learning, but a lot of my learning now, whether it be from property or investing, or even, you know, just sporadic things like spiritual side of things, comes from my Instagram feed. Mm-hmm. Because obviously the more you look at, the more it shows you. So that's the advantage. You know, the more investing pages I look at, the more investing pages it shows me.
Yeah.
And the advantage is I can just unfollow people that I don't want to see, or, you know, it's just filling my mind with junk. Because there was times when I would come home from work and I'd spend 2 hours scrolling. And what have I consumed? You know, I'll consume some cat videos, you know, some booty workout videos, some bacon videos, and it's fine, and I get it. But for me, it's, you are just filling your mind with junk.
Yeah.
And it's not good just to mindlessly scroll. So now I've really paid attention to what I'm consuming on social media, and just unfollowing pages that I don't feel are going to add to me.
Yeah.
And I think because the more, even subconsciously, the more, you know, if you're looking at property every day, the more opportunities you'll see and the more you'll learn. Mm-hmm. Even if you're not doing it on purpose and you're just scrolling, you'll pick things up.
Yeah.
So I just feel that's, you know, we need to be mindful of what we're consuming.
Yeah, totally. It's something like, it's like 97% or 96% of the way we live our life is from our subconscious. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And that's so true. And it's even things like I don't watch the news, for example, because I'll know, like, if there's an announcement with Boris or something, I'll watch it. Or like if there's something drastic that I need to like follow up on, I will watch it. But you know, I deliberately don't watch it regularly because it's just feeding your mind with depression.
Yeah, it's not. If you know, if you didn't watch the news and you went outside, you'd be like, oh, it's a bit quiet, but life's okay. And you know, like,
great.
Yeah, and we talked about this yesterday with our friends, is and obviously Corona is tragic, but we don't know anyone that's had it. So for the and obviously the news is now fed on clicks.
Yeah.
So everything's a headline click, isn't it?
Yeah.
This many die. This many's going to die. You know, this has happened, and it's rather than, okay, this many people have survived, this many people are recovered, life's going to be okay. Yeah. It's all just fear mongering, depressing, because they need clicks to pay for advertising.
Exactly.
It is just yeah.
It's a shame that not more people know that. Like, me and you can sit here and we can say that we know that the news is deliberately feeding you negative information because we get it, but a lot of people don't get that, and they will literally sit there and watch the news and feed their minds with negativity, right, and just assume that that's the way life is. Yeah. But it's not.
Yeah, and it's just one person's perspective, isn't it? Really, you could go out and tell the news and tell a completely different version.
Yeah.
So I think people need to be, as you said, be wary. And the news is good for you if you're going to take it from multiple sources that you believe in.
Yeah.
But if you were to click on the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Daily Mirror, I don't know, the Star, and they've all probably got the same headline every day.
Yeah.
It's just the same source from.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so right there. You have to be just watch your mind, like watch what you're taking into your mind for sure every single day. Amazing. And do you have any social media handles, websites where we can follow your businesses, what you're up to?
I do. So the construction one isn't up yet. Obviously, the Mortgage Hut is the mortgagehut.net.
Mm-hmm.
Come and have a look. Everyone else has. So I said to you, business-wise, actually our website. So from February, we had we appeared in sort of 500 Google searches.
Wow.
We're now appearing in 1.7 million.
I mean,
the market
500 as a new
Sorry,
company.
500,000. That's for the Mortgage Hut.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know if it's built up from people just sat at home, but it has just gone insane. So yeah, the mortgagehut.net. The Instagram is DBS Property. The construction company isn't up yet, but I'll be sure to share that with you.
Amazing. I will post all those links underneath this video. But thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say before we say goodbye?
Not a problem. Good to see you. And
Good to see you too.
if you're thinking about doing property, let me know. If you're thinking about doing business, just do it. Ask Nat for some advice. I'm sure she'll help.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Jack. And guys, if you've liked this video, make sure you click like, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back very soon. Thank you so much, Jack.
Cheers, Nat.